But going on to the next topic, actually talking about Cleveland again. Cleveland and RG3. I didn't think I would say those two things together. Actually, I'm actually quite appalled. A report that was actually released this morning that Cleveland seems to be the prevailing team to sign RG3, Robert Griffin III. So, and this is a myriad of teams that are interested in RG3, like the Denver Broncos, the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of teams have shown interest in RG3. The Dallas Cowboys have shown interest in RG3. But amongst all those teams, it seems like he's leaning towards Cleveland. So, and this is a Cleveland team that didn't have that great of a season last year. I mean, they were 25th in offense, 25th or 27th actually. I have the stat right here, but they weren't all that. They weren't all that impressive. 25th. They weren't all that impressive on the offensive side of the football, especially with Johnny Manziel and the whole controversy that went down with him. So him going to Cleveland is kind of like a stunning development. So y'all, what do y'all think about him, RG3 in Cleveland? Is he a good fit? Will he be a good fit if he ends up inevitably just going there? Because right now it's all they're saying that is most likely, but it's not definitive until he signs on the contract. So Rashad, what do you think about it?
Brendan, Khalid, and everybody watching, let's be honest real quick. There's no such thing as a good fit in Cleveland for anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're gonna bring in a high caliber quarterback like Robert Griffin, who we've seen can play. We've seen him can play when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. You're bringing him in a worse situation than he was in Washington. Mm-hmm. He lost all the star pieces this year. Your number one receiver can't stay out of trouble. You just get rid of your other receiver, who was supposed to be your number one receiver. You lose your star safety. You lose your star center. So you basically have no line anymore. What is there for a quarterback to go there for? Like, I mean, they must be paying him money, a max contract, plus out-of-pocket money on the side, because that's all it's going to take to get someone in there, because that's how bad this team is. So, honestly, there is no such thing as a good fit in Cleveland.
Okay. Khalid, what do you think? Actually, Khalid, right before you go, sorry for cutting you off. I need to say something real quick. So anybody that's listening that wants to join on the debate, number is 757-683-4405. I always forget some reason.
Say it one more time for him.
757-683-4405. It always leaves in my mind. And if you want to tweet your comments to us, you tweet us at KBR_sports. And also you comment on the YouTube channel and on Rabble and Spreaker. All right, Khalid, go ahead.
I want to agree with Rashad, and there's probably no fit for Robert Griffin III going to Cleveland. One, because of the way the division is, there's no way he's gonna win. Like, he's gonna win the division, and not in the coming years. With Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, I feel like that he should definitely look into the options with the Jets and the Broncos. I feel like the Jets, it would be a great learning experience for him, and the Broncos, he'll have a pivotal role on the offense and to support that great defense. But the Browns, the organization is just not together, and I don't think it will help RG3 as a person.
Well, see, now that your last line right there, and Rashad's very last line also, are actually the two reasons I'm seeing why he's going to Cleveland. Hugh Jackson, the new coach, because you say you don't see him being a better person, and Rashad said he doesn't know what he's going to Cleveland for. It's Hugh Jackson. I mean, Hugh Jackson, what he did in Cincinnati with Andy Dalton and his work with A.J. McCarron, we've seen both those guys have A.J. McCarron, especially when he stepped into the role for Andy Dalton, played considerably well. And then Andy Dalton has already played at a high level for a number of years. The only problem has been their playoff play, but that's neither here or there. He's played well in the regular season. So he's going there for Hugh Jackson, and Hugh Jackson has a reputation to lead for being a great offensive mind, and in particular being great with quarterbacks. And what is RG3? I mean, what was the problem with RG3 in his last stop in Washington? Is the fact that Jay Gruden and I wouldn't say Mike Shanahan to a degree, because Mike Shanahan was the coach when RG3 had his best season. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Jay Gruden wasn't exactly all for RG3, so the offense didn't exactly cater to RG3, because RG3 wanted to be more so of a pocket quarterback. And for a guy that we could argue that his rookie season, what made RG3 special was his athleticism and his ability to move and to read option. And I feel as though when you have, because at this point, RG3's hit I don't want to say rock because rock bottom is. I say
That's Jamarcus Russell.
Low.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel right now is practically the epitome of rock bottom as far as that goes. But RG3's ego is taking a hit because whereas in Washington, excuse me, whereas in Washington he had the power to say, "Hey, I don't want to be a running quarterback. I don't want to do this and that." Now he's in a situation where you've fallen off your pedestal. You're no longer the rookie of the year, and you're not that high. High velocity player that we saw. So now he's more at the liberty of the coaches and the offensive coordinators in Cleveland to do what he wants to do. And Hugh Jackson has a reputation of taking quarterbacks and making them play at a high level. I mean, what do you guys think about him going there for Hugh Jackson?
See, this is how I feel about Hugh Jackson. Like, I understand Colin Kaepernick said he want to play for him. Robert Griffin wanted to play for him. But if you look at what he did with Andy Dalton and AJ McCarron, look who he had there. Look who was on that team to make AJ McCarron and Andy Dalton look that good.
Mm-hmm.
You had one of the top, I'd probably say top 5 receivers in the game. You had a decent line. You had a running back who could take some of the load off. You had a nice solid defense. So I mean, it's easier for them guys.
They were a solid team.
Robert Griffin doesn't want to be a running quarterback. What are you gonna do with no line?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not gonna stand there and just take sacks. He's gonna take more beatings than he did in Washington and Cleveland.
Real quick, I need to interject real quick. Football is America commented. It says no one talking about the Browns hiring Pep Hamilton. It's true. That is a good note. And can you honestly be trying to fail any harder?
He said, "Can you try to be failing any harder?"
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at least with the Rams, you have some type of potential to play with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot more than Cleveland now is the Raiders of old. Not the old like when we was when we was a child, but like Jamarcus Russell type Raiders team where they was nothing for 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the Cleveland Browns have come to. Mm-hmm. Why would you like a coach isn't on the field for you? Yeah, he can teach you how to play well for your next stop because it won't be in Cleveland where he'll be playing well.
But a coach also helps accumulate talent.
It does,
and that could be somebody that could be something that RG3 could be looking at Hugh Jackson as somebody that will look out for me, will try to help me recruit talent, will try to help this team get talent. I don't think he's looking at Cleveland as a place that is going to stay desolated for years to come. He's looking at it as a place that I will go and make an impact with Hugh Jackson, and we'll be the start of something greater in this city.
You're okay.
But do you think he could be impact anywhere else, a bigger impact anywhere else?
Well, that's the thing. But you look at the other options he could go to. You got Gary Kubiak in Denver, of course. Then you got Jeff Fisher in Los Angeles, they do have talent in Los Angeles with Todd Gurley as a running back and Tavon Austin as a wide receiver and Kenny Britton, those guys. The problem is Jeff Fisher and his quarterbacks. Can we name the last quarterback that Jeff Fisher had that had an outstanding season?
That had an outstanding season?
Mm-hmm. Name the last quarterback, and you see how long it's taken.
Didn't he? Wasn't
Vince Young.
Yeah, I'm about to say, didn't he coach for Tennessee?
It was Vince Young's rookie season.
It was.
You know how long ago that was?
It was a minute ago.
Exactly.
But
and that's the thing with Jeff Fisher and quarterbacks. And RG3 doesn't want to go into a situation. I mean, Los Angeles is nice now. I mean, you got the sunshine. Everything's beautiful in Los Angeles. I mean, come on, man. It's Los Angeles. But it's a matter of that's one of those things where market doesn't exactly proceed over coach, if that makes sense.
But I mean, there's market is going to proceed over coach when it comes to Cleveland. What is there in Cleveland?
Market didn't proceed over Cleveland when it came to LeBron.
No, see, LeBron's from there.
I mean, he is from there.
That's different.
I mean, he was in
Miami. LeBron started there though.
And Kevin Love he was in Minnesota.
Kevin Love came because of LeBron.
And he got his.
But I'm saying, but you see, market precedes.
Those are no LeBron change, man.
I'm just saying.
Neither one of those.
No, I'm
RG3 or Hugh Jackson. No LeBron.
I'm just saying, market can precede your talent on your current team.
I understand,
but I mean, nobody else
to
wants
the Browns for the tutelage from the coach, but the organization as a whole, I don't think it'll push him further.
Brendan, I agree with what you're saying, but Brendan, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You say they're going to bring in better prospects for upcoming years, better free agents, better draft picks, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say it's going to bring. How long does RG3 have? Because he's going to take a beating this year.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong for saying that? Do you believe that line where they just got rid of their star player as well, who basically was the only part of the line?
If he ends up going there, I do believe
he's going to take a lot of hits.
Yeah, he took hits in Washington.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we see his health isn't isn't there.
Mhm.
Like he can't. He's pretty much another Michael Vick, just not to that extreme. So how long does that last before the talent finally comes? Because you're not getting nothing this year because everybody's gone already. You already spent the money you need. Everything's gone. So next year, you're hoping to bring in people to Cleveland. You're hoping that this team looks like they have potential this year with RG3 and Hugh Jackson there. You're hoping players see that. When you have teams on the rise, kind of like a Jacksonville who always has money, and Oakland Raiders who always has money.
You're not gonna fix the team in one season.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's gonna take some time.
It's gonna take time, but how long does RG3 have before his career has to be over because of injuries?
Well, I don't think RG3 is looking at it from the standpoint of how long do I have before my career is over. I think he's looking at it as the standpoint of where will my next best opportunity to prove myself be.
It's not there.
Who will help me maximize my ability? I don't think he feels as though, even though Los Angeles or Denver arguably has the better talent, he might be sitting here think of it as which coach would make me a better player, that even if I left Cleveland in years to come, because he hasn't definitely gone to Cleveland yet, but even if he went to Cleveland, we haven't even seen the contract that he's got.
Yeah, you're right.
So
much more likely to be a max deal.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but the contract, I don't think RG is going to match.
I mean, they have the money, and I mean,
I don't think he's
why else would he go to Cleveland?
Nothing on his plate
he doesn't.
All the reports are saying his reason for going to Cleveland is Hugh Jackson.
I know,
Hugh Jackson is the reason, but the money.
See,
the money, because Denver has just as much money to throw at.
They do because of Brock Osweiler.
I feel like he's focusing more on the coach's help rather than the team as a whole because of the Washington organization. But I feel like you got to also look at the team too. You got to go to a place where you know that other players are going to make you better. You're going to make the other players better.
No, I'm not saying I agree. Don't take what I'm saying as me agreeing with where he's going. But I'm saying I'm giving you the reasons as to why he's going there.
Okay, you have Hugh Jackson there, but can you do the same thing by going to Denver and learning under John Elway?
You could make a case for that, but here's the thing. I guess that's a great case.
Yeah,
that's a great. Yeah. But the thing is, John Elway isn't coaching you. There's a difference. That's the same thing with people in the Knicks now. Phil Jackson is the president. He's not the coach. A lot of people say free agents would come there if he was coaching. He's not the coach. You're going to Gary Kubiak. You're not going to Phil. You're not going to John Elway. So he's going to Hugh Jackson, not whoever the president of the Browns is. So that's pretty much a lot of players. Coaches play a big deal in how these players sometimes decide where they want to go.
Right, yeah.
The Knicks are even talking about hiring the Thunder's general manager or assistant general manager because he's close with Kevin Durant. That's how much of a role coaches and relationships play in sports. So that's how I see RG3's reasoning for it. And think about it. The main thing we say for him to go to Los Angeles is that it's Los Angeles and that he has better talent. But the Rams aren't a team that's made the playoffs in years since what, the greatest show on turf, I believe.
But they have a greater chance than Cleveland.
They do have a better chance. But when he's looking at it, he's sitting there saying, which place is going to help me become the best player I can be? He's not even looking. He might not be looking at a standpoint from I could get hurt because he's already gotten hurt in Washington, and it's not like these other places he's going to have superb lines also. Yeah. So he's like, the chance of me getting hurt is still higher regardless of whatever place I go to. So why don't I go to a place where a guy's going to mold me into a better player, make me the best quarterback I can be? He has a track record with quarterbacks that's proven to be great. Because you look at all the other coaches' record with quarterbacks. I mean, Gary Kubiak, his last notable quarterback that he had was Matt Schaub in Houston, and we saw how that played out.
I mean, actually, Matt Schaub wasn't bad for a while. He was, and then he had those two bad seasons.
For a while.
He had two bad seasons, and then he was out of there for life.
You see, he wants to go to somebody that has shown that. I mean, Andy Dalton recently he's been playing good. That's all it's been. He's been playing good, and AJ McCarron stepped in and played well also. But that's going to be an interesting development to see how that turns out. I mean, RG3 in Cleveland. I mean, it's cold there, bro. I mean, take a jacket if you're gonna go there. Take a jacket.
Without that line, you take 5. Getting hurt again.
Yeah, take 5. I mean, when you get hit in Cleveland, you feel it. You feel it's cold there. It's windy.
Shock the bone.
Yeah, exactly. But going on to the next topic, actually.